Hey guys, and today I'm going to show you how to make your own Roblox game. And today's category, we're going to make you a round-based game. A round-based game is like you have an intermission, and when it's right to 0, you get a teleportation. And you get your own concept to be the last man standing or make a platform game. So let's get started. So to start your own game, so you have to download Roblox Studio. If you don't know what it is, so you go to create. And you see something different, okay? You see something different. Mine, I already got Roblox Studio. But if you see something different, like you had to download it. And then once you've done that, click it. And now you will start off as a new template. So yeah, so you can pick base plate or whatever the heck that is. But we're gonna pick base plate. You can pick factoring, but I recommend you do base plate. And now you will see you'll load up with this piece of 512 base plate. So yeah, you are start up as a base plate. And yeah, so now let's go ahead and grab a base plate, and I'm gonna shrink it down to 200 2022, so we can make this, so we can make our new lobby. Then I'm going to change the surface to inlet smooth. So we need smoothness. And then I'm going to put our spawn point. So we're going to put our spawn, and I'm going to set the position to 0, 0, 0. And there you go. You got your own lobby. And yeah, it's not really the creative, but also you need borders to the game, so we're going to add borders. Alright, grab all your border parts, and then we're going to set anchor, and then transparency to 1, and group it, and we're going to name it borders for good organization. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab everything and group it, and I'm going to type it lobby. And now for the GUI placement. So to make your own text GUI, so I'm going to do is go insert object, and then you have to click screen GUI. And you can name whatever you want. Then we're going to add a text. And then we're going to set the anchor point to 0.5, comma 0.5. And then I'm going to set the position to 0.5, and then 0.5, and that's actually it. You can just change or mess around with the positioning, but yeah, I recommend you do it. And then you're going to do the text scale to able, and then I'm going to set the text color to white, and then set the transparency to 0, and then remove the background transparency. And then we have to rename it status. Once you're actually done, you get to go to the replicate storage, and then insert a folder called text values. And then we're going to add a string value inside the text value folder. Name it status. And then the value is going to whatever the heck it is. And then you're going to add a local script inside the main script, and we're going to name it main script. And then we're going to make our variables. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a variable of the text values. To comment for better organization, you have to press 2 dash, and then you have to type your variables. Alright, for better organization, I recommend you use the comments for good organization. Now I'm going to make a variable of the text. Then we're gonna do is you're gonna say game colon get service colon run service dot render step, and then connect the function. Now this is where render step is. Render step is currently is only for local scripts only. Then all you need to do is gonna say status.text.text equals status.value. And what you do is it will run, and you can see it will change the value. And when the value changed, and it will run for the status text, and then it will update it. Since now you're done, actually, all you need to do is you need to grab the server script and add script. Name it main script. Once you're actually just done, all you need to do is you need add a module script, and then and then we're gonna type it round. So now you're done your own setup. Now let's go ahead and know what concept is. If you're making a last man standing, you know, a battle royale game, I recommend you use this one. But if you're making a platformer game, I recommend you use two module scripts called map info. I'll see that in the second part of it. And now, since you're done with your own setup, let's make our own leader stats. So now we're going to make our script called leader board. And then we're going to say game dot players dot player added connect function. Put inside the brackets players. Then we're going to make our own leader stats. Keep in mind that I keep using this method for shorter code, but if you want for normal people, I recommend you use this. Then we're gonna make the wins. Then we're gonna make the coins. Alright, for this one, I recommend you use player because sometimes you don't want to actually see your coins, actually, so private, I think. But you can use player or leader stats. For me, I'm going to use players. And there you go. For beginners, I recommend you do this. Once you do all the leader stats, let's make the data saving. And then for that, you can make your own leader stats. So we're going to say, you can change the name of the save whatever you want. Now let's go ahead and make the table. So as you can see, you make your own data. And now let's go, and this data table will grab everything. Let's make our new variable. Once you're done, go ahead and make your set async. So what am I going to do this is we're going to say local success error message and then we're going to say I'm going to say my data store colon set async player.user ID and then our data. Now we're going to make our if statement. If it's not, we're going to print our error message. And yeah. Next, we're going to make our bind to close. When the server is shut down, we're going to update it. And there you go. Now let's make our get async. Let's make a new variable called load local data. And when we get our variable, and then we have to set it here. Now we need to check if they have data. So if they have wins, they'll update their wins. Also update for the coins. And then if they don't have enough data, I think it's a new player. And now let's test it out. As you can see, we are firstly joined this game, and they have a new player. To go to game settings, you actually need to publish your game. So yeah. So what we're gonna do is when you publish a game, we're going to create a new game, and then you can name it whatever you want. And then your description is optional. And then created by you or your group if you want to. And then your genre is your type. And then press create. And congratulations, you created your tutorial. Now go to game settings. Go to security, and you have to turn on HTTP requests and API services. And I'll make a second part for your two categories. So if you want to make a platformer game, make sure you're still to, and you may watch the part 2. Actually, if you want to make a sword fighting game or a platformer game, a battle royale game. But first, I'm gonna show you a little bit of skill. Let's go to round, and you will see your module script is you have the table. So the table. So we need to make our own function. So we need to make it. So let's go ahead and do function, and we'll do module dot intermission. So the intermission, and we're going to make ourselves a limit, and we're going to make a for loop. But first, let's make our variables. And now let's go ahead and make the status. And there you go, you have your own intermission. And now let's go to the main, and now let's make the variables. Before you're making your own module script, make sure you have a require. Like this, because the script is inside the realm. Now let's make our while true loop. But firstly, I recommend you use while wait to do, not while true do loops. And now let's make, and then you have to activate the intermission. And then put inside 30. Why do you need to insert 30 in there? Because the round, you see we have another one called limit. And then a limit, as you can see in the main, is 30. So we need to put your own number. And currently, if you want to add some music for your game, I recommend you copy this script down. Okay, so now let's make our table for the songs. And there you go. So now let's go ahead and put in the workspace and add a sound. I recommend you naming the sound music because why not actually? Now let's make our index. And now you have the table right now. Let's go ahead and make their own table. So now let's go ahead and find some music. So as you can see, you got your own song. So how does it work? So the first index is the sound idea. And then the second index is the song name. Now you can add more songs to the game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the same code. But first you need to add a colon but with a comma in it, comma below. I don't know what the name is. And then I'm going to copy this ID. Put it right here. And then I'm going to copy the song. If you don't know what song, you must hold it, and then you'll see the tag. Now let's go ahead and check the index. There you go. Now let's go ahead and make our variable for the chosen song. Now let's go ahead and make our own string value called music name. Now let's copy this variable and then rename it music name. We'll come back with that later. Now let's go ahead and play the song for the own index. So to make the ID work, so you need to play RBX asset ID colon slash dot dot, and then we're gonna say chosen song square brackets 1, and then we're gonna make the song play. And now let's activate the music name. And the reason why I put a 2 because this is the second index. And then why I put a 1 because this is the first index. And now let's put it in the script. I recommend you put a weight in it. And now let's test. As you can see, your music is right here, and it's called Blue Sizzle in the music name. And then the sound idea is right here. And as you can see, the music plays differently. And yeah, that's all I have to say. See you later in the part 2.